have become cardinal.
Mambo yamechemuka watu wangu. Kimani Ichungwa wameanza kupiga bautan. Kwa nini Rais William Ruto anaenda kuuza Kenya Pipeline? Na unajua guys, President William Ruto aliamua kusneak hiyo information wakati ambapo hiyo bill ilienda kusoma kwa Parliament. Haikuonekana kwanza. Kumbe alisneak wakati ambapo parliamentaries waliamua kupitisha. And baadaye wakarealize hii kitu imekuwa sneaked ndani. Unajua alikuwa anapitisha without knowing. So William Ruto is a conman. Kimani Ichungwa ameanza kujifanyia campaign. Sijui kama umeona Kimani Ichungwa saizi akifanyia Rais William Ruto campaign. Sijui kama umeona mtu bado anaendelea kufanyia William Ruto campaign na kujituma kwa sababu ya kusecure his position ni Professor Kithure Kindiki. Ndo anajua tu kama William Ruto atafail, kama ndashindwa kufanyia Rais William Ruto campaign kusecure upande wa Mount Kenya ama to snatch Mount Kenya resident from Rigathi Gachagua, then William Ruto is going to pick another person to be the running mate for him in 2027. So now Kimani Ichungwa kaamua kuachilia bombshell. Unaona watu wangu wakajam kwa Parliament, but ensure malike na anasema thanks for your great support. Skiza.
And this bill therefore, Honorable Speaker, seeks to address the issues that were raised by the court. And indeed, I must take this opportunity to thank the chair of the Privatization Committee, the Honorable Shurie and his committee, for the very meticulous work that they put in to ensure that they addressed each and every of the issues that were raised by the court, and especially around the issue of public participation. And this bill has been drafted in a way that it bridges all those gaps that were identified and lays a very good foundation for a constitutionally grounded privatization framework for the country to move us forward.
This issue of Kenya Pipeline will bring a lot of excitement. Kenyans will buy in the IPO, but after the announcement of the financial results in February for the full year, the share company will collapse and the share price will collapse. And this is the reason. The current investor in the NSC are not buying assets. They are buying revenue.
And it's good for the Honorable Udo to speak to the gallery and excite those that he seeks to excite. The matter of inclusivity, transparency, and accountability have become cardinal in these laws.
I will focus on two issues. And the first one is, ladies and gentlemen, the bill I'm holding is called the Privatization Bill 2025. If you look at this bill, it talks about one of the key elements of this bill is the principle of transparency and accountability. How to ensure that the whole process is transparent and accountable. Look at the way that things have been done. You privatize Kenya Pipeline, and then immediately you bring to the House the privatization bill. That is a serious omission. Practically, we should have done with the privatization bill so that we ensure that we have the right legal framework before we do the privatization. The second point is, how much money are we expecting to get from the privatization of Kenya Pipeline? It is 100 billion. That's what they are trying to, by selling that strategic intervention, strategic investment in this country, you will only raise 100 billion. Now, if you look at our budget deficit this financial year, because they have factored this into the budget, it is about 870 billion. So you ask yourself, is it worthy really selling such a strategic investment to raise only 100 billion while you are going to borrow 876 billion from Kenyans? It means any right-thinking Kenyan would have said, because this is very strategic for the country, let's get another way of raising this money. And that's what we are saying, ladies and gentlemen, and Kenyans, that this process is not good for the country.
Thank you. I think one of the biggest challenges we have is if you look at the order paper that was presented today, there are some shadowy figures that have been included that in case Kenya Pipeline is sold, they will be the first to be paid. Billions of shillings. We have lawyers who we do not know who they are. We don't know the cases that they participated in. There are people who are listed that in case it's privatized, they should be paid huge amounts of money, billions of shillings. And I think other than that, the fact that you are giving someone leeway to control the price of fuel that if they decide to increase the price of fuel, we will be the ones who will suffer. Two, we've had cases when we know, if you look at Kenya Railways, the privatization of Kenya Railways, we've had cases where they come in, strip assets, they sell, and they leave a shell. This is the only pipeline we have as a country, and I think it's paramount that if it's to be privatized, Kenyan people must be involved, public participation must be done, and everyone must give their input. Secondly, we cannot sit in parliament and we are not even given a chance to contribute, because those of us who are there, we were not given a chance, we were not accorded a chance, so that we could air our views and say whether we support or reject. And I think there are very many people who would have been willing to respond to this matter, because it's a matter of national importance. So like my colleague is saying, it's not something that will take sitting down, it's something that needs to go to court. We need arbitration by the judiciary so that they can clarify and decide whether the procedure is correct and whether the sale of Kenya Pipeline was that important.
Does not have the sale of Kenya Pipeline. The sale of Kenya Pipeline has been sneaked in today at 3 p.m., about 30 minutes after members were already in the chamber. And you see, members, when they come to the house, they look at the order paper so that they can see what is coming in for debate. And then they will deal with those issues that are of concern to their constituents or maybe the committee they are in. And also things that are critical, like the sale of Kenya Pipeline, would have actually had almost full house. But it was sneaked in the afternoon. And that is why we are complaining.
And Ruto was the other day on media all over saying that members of parliament are being bribed. I want to ask him, have they bribed, has he bribed them today? Because how do you give us an order in the morning? Since yesterday, we know what we are discussing, and then you sneak in something. It's so pathetic that this government has been captured by the executive, and they are working for Ruto, they are not working for the people who have elected them. It's so sad. And then when we want to debate, you sit there, you put your card, you raise your hands, because even a chance to speak is so skewed. Because of course, the speaker today is in the broad-based. If it is not him, it is Wetangula himself. All of them, they are that side, so we don't expect any justice to be done to Kenyans in this house, because it's actually captured by
Kenya Pipeline inauzwa na tayari bunge imepitisha kuuzwa. Nani alihusishwa? Kwa ripoti ambayo kamati imepeana, wamesema bilioni 5.7 zilipwe kwa mawakili, na iko kwenye report ambayo iko kwa order paper ya leo, 5.7 billion. Hii ni pesa inatosha kushughulikia mambo ya SHA. Hii pesa italipwa watu na haijafanywa verification ijulikane nani anaenda kulipwa. Motion ambayo imepitishwa inapatia serikali nguvu. Kwa nini mnaleta motion ya aina hiyo na kuna privatization bill ambayo iko kwa bunge? Si bill ingepitishwa ndio baadaye sasa muanze kuuza kulingana na kanuni na sheria zile zimewekwa. Ni vizuri pia niseme imepropose mambo kadhaa, lakini ya muhimu zaidi ni kusema bei ya mafuta leo ikiongezeka, ambaye tunaamini itaongezeka, sasa ni mtu binafsi ndiye atakuwa akitawala mambo ya Kenya Pipeline.